As the young girl settled into bed, she suddenly felt a chill. Her blanket had been yanked away. Still half asleep, she started to sit up, trying to understand what was happening. But before she could react, a strong hand grabbed her hair. To her shock, it was her own father. Confused, she asked what was going on, but he didn't respond. Instead, he looked at her strangely and said something unsettling about how she is all grown up. Fear crept over her as she noticed his unusual demeanor. Her body trembled slightly, then, just as suddenly as it happened, he let go, gently touching her face. Tears welled up in her eyes. She didn't know what to expect next. Without another word, her father turned and walked away, leaving her sitting there, shaken and confused. She couldn't understand why the man who had always been kind and loving suddenly seemed like a stranger. The next morning, everything felt even more unsettling. Her father acted as if nothing had happened, joking around as usual. She didn't bring up the strange events of the night before. Instead, she kept her distance, feeling uneasy. But then, her mother's behavior took an unusual turn as well. At breakfast, she ate in a frantic, almost aggressive manner, completely unlike herself. When her son complained that the food was too salty, she grabbed his plate and shoved the food into her mouth, insisting he eat it anyway. The father tried to reassure their son that he didn't have to finish it, but this only made the mother furious. Without warning, she flipped the table, sending food flying across the room. That evening, when the father returned from work, he found his wife laughing cheerfully at the television, as if nothing unusual had happened. Trying to make sense of it all, he cautiously asked her about that morning's events, but she simply said he had left early and hadn't made breakfast for them. He assumed she was avoiding the conversation and didn't push further. What he didn't realize was that his wife wasn't lying. Something else had taken their place in the house. Meanwhile, the older daughter was taking a shower, but an eerie feeling crept over her, as if unseen eyes were watching. Her younger sister, who had been disturbed the night before, was also acting strangely. When the older sister confronted her about it, the younger one insisted she had been in her room all night. She then hesitated before revealing something chilling. Her blanket had been pulled off while she was sleeping, too. The older sister dismissed it as a bad dream, trying to convince herself that nothing was wrong. But the younger one shook her head, insisting that their mother had been acting strangely that morning as well, almost as if both parents had changed. Doubt crept into the older sister's mind. After all, she had seen their mother's disturbing behavior firsthand. Then, their father suddenly entered the room. His eyes carried a strange intensity as he spoke, his voice unnervingly calm. "You two have really grown up." A cold shiver ran down their spines. They could hardly believe their own father had just said that something was very, very wrong in their home. This chilling Korean movie is called The Metamorphosis.